Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Aditya Gupta, and so the NEET PG 2021 result has just been declared, and I actually just came back from my duties at 12, so I thought this is a video that I really wanted to make actually. So as we see, the cutoff is actually very high this time, but I just predicted in my past video that you can always say that a 75% marks are always a safe margin, and as we saw, 75% marks, that is around 600, is getting you around a 2500 rank, which is a decent rank. So basically 75%, getting above 75% ensures you that I have a decent enough rank, or you actually are above par essentially जिसको कहते हैं. So we saw this first rank is getting somewhere around 90%, 1000 rank is getting somewhere around 80%. As you can see that initially there is like a gap of 70 marks or 80% for 1 to 1000 rank, but then again suddenly you just have a 5% gap between wo. So there is a clustering, there's a like the high cutoffs are there, especially around these ranks, that ranks have suddenly gone, and obviously iske niche the clustering is becoming even much more, like the suddenly the 3k rank is at 596 from what I heard, and 595, 596, 590, something like that. 5k rank और भी जल्दी होके ऐसे 590 या 580 तक पहुंच रही है. So something similar. So now what now? Basically now the result has been declared. So what now? So first take a deep breath. First important, सबसे important चीज़, most important thing, you have to relax. There are marks, there are numbers, they are, more importantly, they are cross-sectional numbers. They are numbers that were decided on the day you gave the exam in that 3.5 hour exam. That's about it. That's literally the meaning. That's literally their meaning. Nothing else, nothing more. They are not you. They do not define you. They do not matter. In the long run, you can achieve much more if you haven't gotten what you expected. And if you have gotten what you expected, congratulations. Go party, enjoy. This is your moment. This is your dream. Go to a 5-star restaurant tonight, and 5-star hotel tonight, and pop that cock cherry and live the moment. This is your moment. Now, for those who are in sort of a gray zone, maybe did not get marks as expected, maybe did not get rank as expected, or sort of like what to do now, what not to do. So there's certain things that almost everyone knows, that you will prefer that an MD's preferred over a DNB, government institute obviously preferred over a private institute because you don't have to pay, and a medical branch in general are preferred over surgical branches. People tend to take medicine, radio, peds, derma. These branches are taken up more earlier as compared to wo. So let's assume you have a 5000 rank, but you actually wanted a Delhi college, but you're not going to get a Delhi college because you wanted a medical branch. Now what to do, what not to do. So I'm pretty sure other videos will be discussing a lot about how to go about MD versus DNB. Even I'll discuss it in some later video if I do have time. But I'll actually discuss a point that if you have thought a bit ahead, if there is some things that interest you, I'll talk about a sort of a lateral way in how you can get them, in how you can get them even at a lower rank through branches which you do not expect. Because if you maybe look a bit forward, these 3 years of MD are just 3 years of MD. They do not define your life. Your life is going to be defined by what you do after that, right? So these are just a list of sort of which is considered sort of average branches. They are not the high picking branches. So basically क्या होता है, less than 1000 में क्या होता है, दिल्ली भरता है. Delhi is the first college, MAMC, UCMS, VMMC, Safdarjung, all these are picked up like hot cakes. They are picked up, and branches like radio, derma, P's, they all get over within 1000, 1500 maximum. My fiance is in SMS Jaipur. Her rank last year was 1400, and she missed Delhi P's just by a whisker. The last UCMS seat was at 1350. So you can understand that the competition for Delhi seats is immense. You can miss things by whisker. Things can change or whatever that is. So now let's see what are the average branches, but they can get you into some exciting DMs. If you have a plan for a DM, if you think that this is the field that interests me and this is the way that I was going to go through, maybe there's another way you can actually achieve your goal. So first and foremost is, I'll start with my specialty only actually. So first is radiotherapy. An MD in radiotherapy. Now I know that radiotherapy is not as preferred as, let's say, medicine or pediatrics, but an MD in radiotherapy is eligible for medical oncology in NEET specialty. I don't know how many people know this. I'm pretty sure many people will know this. But if you're interested in oncology, if you always imagine yourself as someone who teaches or learns about cancer, is that is your interest, and medical oncology is like going to expand tremendously in the coming years. Now, MD radiotherapy, and even DNB radiotherapy, both of them are eligible for medical oncology. So this is the thing that you should always keep in your mind. If you're getting MD radiotherapy in a good college, in a Delhi college, and you had a plan for doing oncology, this is your sort of pathway to get through medical oncology. You're eligible, and many people who have done their DM in medical oncology, are actually MD radiotherapy, not MD medicine or MD pediatrics. So this is one way you can realize that MD radiotherapy, maybe you'll be able to get a MD radiotherapy at 5K or 7K. You can even get DNB radiotherapy at even lower ranks, for that matter of fact, and you can actually do a DM in medical oncology if you study in those 3 years properly, and if you crack your NEET SS and you are planning in that way. So maybe that's not the end of the road. Maybe your rank in this time was low, but you can catch up, and you can get your dream DM branch. Okay, you should not compromise on your you do not need to compromise on your dream DM branch if you had something in mind, if your interest was somewhere. Similarly, second thing that I want to say is nuclear medicine. Now, nuclear medicine is a very up and coming field, and nuclear medicine is essentially the new radiology. So why is radiology preferred by most aspirants and everyone? It's for the ease of life. Yeah, nobody wants to work. I got free at 11 o'clock in the night today, 11:30 at night today, and I love my field of work. I absolutely love oncology. I absolutely love taking care of patients, especially children who have cancer. But some people are confused. Some people want a very relaxed back attitude with easy money, and that's a perfectly legible way to be about it. And nuclear medicine gives you that option. Nuclear medicine is a new radiology. It's up and coming, and even frankly, as a person who's treating cancers, PET scan as a modality has improved so much and has become like sort of the standard of care for so many patients. Like right now, let's assume if I have a patient with neuroblastoma, I have a patient with Hodgkin's, I have a patient with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. In all these, the lines and the waiting time for getting a PET scan is way more as compared to getting a CT or a MRI. They are becoming sort of outdated. The PET is the new MRI. Remember this, nuclear medicine is a new radiology. You will be going into, this was valid 3 years ago more, but even now, to a certain extent, it's valid. Nuclear medicine is a new radiology, offers you a good work-life balance, offers you a good amount of time for yourself, and it offers you a good amount of money as well, especially in the private sector. If you want to come into a government sector, even better, because every government sector which does not have a PET right now will be getting a PET sooner or later. There are many government colleges which don't have MRI right now. 3 or sometimes they will get an MRI. Same is going to be valid for PET machines. So your chance of getting a good government job also, if you want to go into government sector, also increases tremendously by doing your MD in nuclear medicine. And if you really want to treat patients also, you think it's a very diagnostic branch. It's not a interaction wali branch nahi hai. You should also know there's a DM in therapeutic nuclear medicine. There's a DM in therapeutic nuclear medicine, and there's DM in therapeutic nuclear medicine. You'll be treating thyroid cancers, things which require radiation to be treated. So nuclear medicine up and exciting, and you can get it at a low rank. To give it a thought, it's a new radiology. Now people will say that MD is better than DNB, but there are certain scenarios where DNB is actually better than as compared to MD especially in good hospital, especially for fields which are medical in nature. DNB doesn't matter कि वो DNB है या MD है, because what happens is the funda essentially goes is in a private hospital तुम्हें cutting कम मिलती है. So as far as surgical branches is concerned, it's always preferred to go for an MD in a government college as compared to a DNB. But in case of medicine, let's say you are getting medicine in a good hospital, in a good private hospital, let's say Bombay, in let's say Delhi, DNB pediatrics, DNB medicine, and तुम्हारा interest medicine में था, you can actually do DNB and later to always do DM and SRship in a government institute if you feel you are you want to get an exposure of the government setup as well. So that's always possible. Like, I know multiple people in AIIMS itself who have actually done DNB and then they are doing their DMs or they are doing their SRship. So that is not. Next up is anesthesia. Anesthesia is considered a, some sort of a regulatory branch. I absolutely loved anesthesia. It was in fact like I wanted to go into something clinical. My plan was either medicine and peds. अगर medicine peds नहीं मिलेगा तो I was like कि अगर पीछे रैंक आएगी तो मैं anesthesia उठा लूँगा. I didn't have any qualms about taking anesthesia. The reason was यार anesthesia they are the king of ICUs. They are ICUs का boss. You have to remember, especially anesthesia during the COVID-19 pandemic. People realize the immense importance of anesthesia in managing ICUs. You can do a DM in critical care. You can always do a DM in critical care. You can be managing ICUs. You can managing emergencies. These cardiac anesthesia and neuro anesthesia are super specializations. You can always manage a cardiac anesthesia. You know, cardiac surgery के बाद ICU management होगी वो तुम्हारे अंडर होगी. Neuro surgery के बाद जो management होगी वो तुम्हारे अंडर होगी. A neurosurgeon can't function without a neuro anesthetist. This is a known fact. And you can always, again, cancer wise, you can always go into palliation. You know, palliative care, onco anesthesia, palliative care or onco anesthesia. You know, again, up and coming pallidum. Go and search about pallidum. You'll realize about that. Next up is MD chest and respiratory medicine and TB. थोड़ी neglected है इंडिया में TB almost सबको होता है सब लोग treat कर रहे होते हैं. But the possibility of a DM is exciting. You know, you can do a DM in cardiology and you can do a DM in pulmonary medicine and critical care after doing MD and chest. Why not? If these were your interests, something like, you know, you can, if your interest was medical oncology, radio कर रहे थे, radiotherapy कर रहे थे, the same is valid for this, you know, your MD in chest. Now coming to paraclinical also. Now, sort of less explored, but again, पैथोलॉजी के बाद यार इतने ऑप्शन आजकल खुले हुए हैं. हिमाटोपैथ, ऑन्कोपैथ, इन सब में DM अवेलेबल है. इन सब में DM, ऑन्कोपैथ, हिमाटोपैथ, इन सब में DM अवेलेबल है. You will be putting up a niche of your own and getting into wo. And more importantly, pathology people are always eligible DM in hematology. Okay, not in central institutes, not in AIMS or PGI, they are not eligible there, but in NEET SS, as far as NEET super specialization is concerned, they're always eligible for hematology. So always keep that in mind. Next is even microbiology. They're eligible for DM infectious disease. So if you feel like, you know, clinics is the way you'd want to go, you don't want to join any paraclinical or preclinical branches. Having said that, pathology and microbiology do give you an option to get into clinical later on also. So if you are tired, if you have dropped for like 3-4 years and you think, you know, अब और पढ़ाई नहीं होगी, ले लेते हैं जो मिलता है, pathology ले लेते हैं, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Even after doing pathology, you can actually do DM. You can still get back into clinicals if that is what you want to. There will be people, I mean, one of my friends who got a really good rank took DM in, MD did MD in pathology. इंटरेस्ट था यार, एंड में इंटरेस्ट भी बहुत मैटर करता है. एंड इफ़ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन DM पैथोलॉजी, गो फॉर इट यार. एवरी द पर्सन हु से कि किसी ब्रांच में स्कोप नहीं होता इज लाइक एवरी ब्रांच हैज स्कोप. इट्स ऑल डिपेंडेंट अपॉन यू. ठीक है, एंड डिस्पाइट दैट तुम कुछ भी कर लो तो स्कोप तुम्हारे ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है. यू कैन बी अ DM इन मेडिकल ऑन्कोलॉजी, यू कैन बी DM इन कार्डियोलॉजी एंड स्टिल अर्न शिट्टी मनी इफ़ यू आर नॉट गुड, इफ़ यू डू नॉट नो हाउ टू, यू नो, प्रमोट, यू नो. प्राइवेट में ये चीज़ें मैटर कर रही हैं, यू नो अबाउट दिस. सो दैट्स अबाउट इट. Last but not the least, because I'm a pediatrician, I'll just say this small topic. Let's assume you're getting P's in a better college, much better college. इसका bond कम है, salary ज़्यादा है, something of that sort. But मन तुम्हारा medicine का था, पर medicine ना अच्छे college में मिल नहीं रही है. मिल रही है but उसका यहाँ तो bond बहुत ज़्यादा है, it's away from home. So उस scenario में, you know, ना after medicine, most people will have to do super specialization sooner or later. इस scenario में I'll be a bit थोड़ा सा off track. I'll say यार it's better to take the PEDS. Why? Because PEDS is always eligible for DM in adult branches. You know, every branch, be it cardio, be it chest, pulmonary, be it gastro, you know, be it medical oncology, be it endocrinology, in sub branches में, every branch whatsoever, MD PEDS are eligible for a DM in adult DM. You should all, even in central institute like AIMS. प्लस PEDS ऑप्शन गिव्स एन ऑप्शन कि PEDS ना एंड ब्रांच है फॉर मेजॉरिटी ऑफ सिटीज़, स्पेशली टायर 2 सिटीज़ के लिए PEDS अभी भी एंड ब्रांच है. इट्स ओनली इन टायर, नॉट इवन इन टायर 1, इन एक्सट्रीम मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज़ लाइक दिल्ली, बॉम्बे, कलकत्ता एंड चेन्नई, जहाँ पे पीडियाट्रिक्स के बाद तुम्हें DM करने की जरूरत पड़ती है. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम डूइंग माय DM इन पीडियाट्रिक ऑन्कोलॉजी. बट अदरवाइज इसके अलावा इन शहरों के अलावा अभी भी MD PEDS इज एन एंड ब्रांच. यू डोंट नीड टू स्टडी अगेन फॉर एन एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन. सो यू, but if you want to study, if you want to do your DM, then in such a scenario, DM PEDS के MD PEDS के बाद you can always do DM in any adult branch. Always keep this as an option. I know every branch. I know 3 people who did MD in PEDS and then got into DM in medical oncology. I know of 3 people who did MD in PEDS and then got into DM cardiology. I know of 5 or 7 people who did MD in pediatrics and then got into DM neurology. So there is absolutely no branch. I know another one senior जिसका endo में मन था. She did MD in pediatrics and then got into DM endocrinology. So you absolutely, there's no way that you cannot exploit your option. And अगर MD peds करने के बाद तुम्हारा DM करने का मन है तो pediatric branches में भी कर ही सकते हो. तो वो तो है ही, न्यूनेटोलॉजी, pediatric neurology, pediatric oncology, ये तो option है ही. So a lot of options get opened up that way. So this was my take on certain branches जो तुम्हें लगता है can further your goal. Do have a look about this. Just suddenly don't get into shock कि थोड़ी rank कम आई है. You can always improve. And last but definitely not the least, मैं पहले भी बोलता था यार कि rank anything, result आ गया, अभी enjoy करो. That's it. Thank you.